Yeah. So the main question here is like, how are we going to do this? How do we grow? How do we not stagnate? And grow our revenue, our profit margins, doing the same or less units. So one of the things I heard from one of my clients years ago was he goes, there's always these guys out there and they want to produce the big numbers, and he goes, but I'd rather make more profit and more revenue from and do less units from each job any day of the year versus trying to just do more units, because that with more units comes headaches. So it's a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
It again, but there are challenges.
Yeah, so we have a problem, questions, and when there is a question, there is always an answer. So
Yeah,
what's
so exactly. The answer today is we want to change your sales and design process. We want to backlog more leads with longer completion times. Now, you already mentioned it a little bit, but we're going to get really counterintuitive today.
okay?
Everything that we thought about this business, we're going to flip it on its head and do the opposite.
So let's go ahead and get started. And I know we have four ideas. And what's the first one?
Yeah, so let's set the stage here, then we'll get into those four ideas. So the idea is this, is that historically in the past, we get a lead. The first thing we do is we say, well, how soon do you want to get started? When do you want to get started? Because we're trying to identify, is this a lead we want to work with? And if somebody said, oh, we're in no hurry, we're 1 or 2 years out, we've been sort of like, okay, next, and we go to somebody that wants to go right away, because those are the exciting ones. We want to, get them right into production and get paid. So we want to flip our thinking from when do you want to get started? We want to flip it to how soon do you want to be enjoying your new home or project? And so we want to focus on the end. So beginning with the end in mind. So this is taking a longer horizon, a longer timeline, because we really can't start projects right away.
All right. So now we arrive to the first idea.
Yeah, so that ready, willing, and able. Okay, so let's go back to old sales acronym here. I'm looking for a ready, willing, and able lead, somebody that's going to buy right now. And what we're changing that now is that we want to stop targeting those people. If somebody calls me up on the phone right now and says, "Hey, I want to do this project, I want to build this home, we want to get started right away, financing's in place." What we're finding is that these people, first of all, they're not realistic with what stuff costs. They think that because they're ready to go right now, they're a hot commodity, and they typically are really going to be price sensitive. But the second thing we have is that their expectations and their timeline on how long it's going to take to get that done are really out of whack. So what happens is that it leads to cancellations, it leads to unhappy clients, it makes your life miserable. So these folks are really not that desirable right now. If somebody is not willing to delay starting, to delay enjoying their project for a year or more, they're probably not a good candidate right now, and that's the type of person you want to say no to.
And that's a intuitive idea
Completely
for,
counterintuitive, right?
yeah,
I'm a buyer, here's my money, I'm ready to go, and you're going to say, sorry, we can't help you.
that.
Completely counterintuitive. Now, someday we hope to get back to be able to work with people like that, but for right now, it's not realistic.
And it's very hard to apply, I assume.
It's impossible, because
It's
literally it's like I cannot get you started right now. And again, somebody wants to go right now. If you ask them to wait 6+ months in order to get started, you're you're just going to have a lot of bad. There's just going to be a lot of hard feelings. Like I said, unrealistic expectations. Prices are going to go up dramatically from where they're at right now until 6 months from now, and those folks they're just not going to be a good project for you. So you're going to want to pass on them for right now.